Anyone who's had a child knows that motherhood isn't always easy. Along with the excitement and joy of raising a child, there will inevitably come struggles. Often they can be emotional, physical, or financial. So when the world found out that a 70-year-old from the state of Uttar Pradesh in India had given birth to twins in the summer of 2008, many were left stunned. Motherhood would almost certainly be even harder for a woman of that age. And although the woman appeared nonplussed by the criticism that came her way at the time of her child's birth, later updates about her life as a mother made it seem as though outsiders' opinions may have been right. She'd found that life as a mother of young children in her 70s was tough. For Amwari Panwar, then 70, the birth of her twins in 2008 was a blessing that she'd dreamed of her entire life. She already had 2 children, both daughters, but she and her husband had apparently always wanted to have a male heir. "I thought, if I will give birth to a boy, I will become like other mothers," Panwar told the Daily Mail. "Without a son, there was no life for me, because who would own this house if I had no sons?" Panwar's attitude is apparently commonplace throughout India. That's in part because the majority of the country's population practices Hinduism, and most Hindus believe that male relatives should perform a person's death rites, which puts pressure on couples to produce a son. Of course, at the age of 70, and with a husband who's older than her, it would have been extremely hard for Panwar to have conceived a child naturally. So with the full support of her partner, Sharam Singh, she made the decision to undergo IVF treatment. The cost of doing so was very high, 350,000 rupees, which was the equivalent of about $9,000 at the time. So Panwar and Singh remortgaged their property, sold their buffalo, and withdrew their life savings in order to pay for the procedure. But money wasn't the only significant obstacle in their path. Panwar and Singh would also be fighting against some pretty big odds in order to deliver a healthy son through IVF. A study conducted in the US found that the success rate of such treatment plummeted to around 12% for women in their early 40s, and it would presumably be far tougher for a 70-year-old to conceive. And yet, in the summer of 2008, Panwar did the unthinkable. She gave birth to twins via cesarean section. So she and her husband welcomed into the world another daughter, Barsat, and the son they'd always dreamed of, who they named Akashvani. Upon the birth of their twins, Singh told ABC News, "The desire for a male child has always been there, but God did not bless us with a male child. Now we are very grateful to God who has answered our prayers." Panwar expressed a similar joy in an interview with the Daily Mail. "For more than 40 years, I've thought God did not think I was fit to produce a boy," she said, "but fate works in funny ways. It must have meant to be that I waited all this time." Unfortunately, not everyone was quite so happy to hear the news of a 70-year-old woman giving birth. Indeed, even some people within the couple's home state of Uttar Pradesh didn't agree with their choice. But Panwar and Singh stood firm in their decision and seemed happy to finally have their male heir. And 6 years after the birth of her twins, Panwar gave another interview to the Daily Mail. In it, she had many positive things to say about motherhood at such a late age. "I am very happy that I am a mother of a 6-year-old," she said. "It is an unexplainable feeling." It's been a journey marred by tragedy, however. Panwar's youngest daughter, Barsat, passed away when she was 4 years old, after her doctor prescribed her expired medication. And while son Akashvani remained in good health as of 2015, he still created difficulties for his elderly parents. At 6 years of age, Akashvani was unsurprisingly a child full of energy, which his mother found herself struggling to match. "I'm not able to bathe him properly. I have problems getting him dressed. It's hard to run around and feed him," she admitted. "Old age is like this." She and Singh nonetheless did their best to care for their son, and they earned back the support of some of their neighbors in the process. A villager named Virmati said, "It's good that Panwar gave birth to a child at this age. According to me, they took a correct decision. They have love between each other, so it's good." Panwar touched upon other concerns that come with mothering a young boy at such an old age. For instance, she didn't know how many of his milestones that she or her husband would see. "I wish that my son gets married very quickly and we both can be present at his wedding," she said. Even with this in mind, though, Panwar said that she tried not to fret about her son's future and how it will go, with or without her in the picture. In fact, she already had a plan for him should she and her husband pass away. "After my death, my daughter will take care of my son," she explained. "I am not worried." Until then, Panwar has a single overarching goal, and it's one that most parents can relate to. She wants to enjoy all the time she has left with her son, no matter how much or how little there is.